How's it going, Sha?
It's going great, actually. I think
Yeah?
yeah, sure. I don't know. I mean, my body told me to say great, so I guess it's
There you
great.
go. It's
Yeah,
good
why
energy.
not?
Why not?
I tried to make egg drop soup for the first time last night.
Oh, how'd that go?
Yeah, I mean, there's egg, and it went into the soup, and it looked like egg drop soup. It's probably fine. You know what I mean? It's like your first time when you use things. It's super simple to do. You just heat up like chicken broth and then add a couple of things that's supposed to make it taste like whatever, and then you stir in a beaten egg, just a depressed, downtrodden egg. You just stir that into there, and then you got egg drop soup. But I forgot. At some point, I forgot to use salt,
Okay.
and I mean that normally would be fine because you're using soy sauce and it's chicken broth, so it's whatever. But I have high blood pressure, so I have to watch my salt intake. So I am constantly buying low sodium versions of things and then not liking it. But so the chicken broth was low sodium,
Oh.
and the soy sauce was low sodium. So when I tasted the first part, I was like, "Oh, I need sodium." That's what I forgot. Where's my sodium? And I just sprinkled it in there. But I also had to use cornstarch mixed with water to kind of thicken it up a little bit. And I was like, what is cornstarch? And apparently it's something that should be in every kitchen. And I'm like, not if you only eat Pop-Tarts and frozen waffles, but I'm gonna figure out a way to use
Why
it, I
not?
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just
So
looking at low sodium stuff too, cause my like I'm in a corner store in East New York next door to me, right? And I'm in the store and like you could tell when like the delivery guy for Wise chips like ran out of stuff. So he just puts like some
yes.
like this def not from this area. So like
Yeah.
he put up lightly salted chips. And I'm like, you've never done
Okay.
that here before. Like, okay. And like he put the
Hmm.
$2 bag. I'm like, all right, now you're just being adventurous. Like you ain't even experimenting with the little bag. You think that there's
Right.
so many people in this neighborhood. I know they need this. I'm just saying, I know that there's no like huge demand, like beating down the corner store. Like, hey, listen, I need lightly salted chips. It's not
Right.
happening.
Uh-huh.
So like I grabbed it. I'm looking at it. I'm like, all right, let me see what this is about. And I'm reading it, and then I compare it to the regular chips, and it's like 8 grams of sodium, I think it is. Like 8%
Hmm.
sodium on the regular ones versus 5% on the low. So I'm like, okay,
Right.
there's a reduction there. I can rock with that. Then I looked at the Kettle cooked chips from Wise, and those were 6%. So I'm like, I could just eat regular Kettle chips and have the appropriate amount of salt for that chip, or I could eat chips that don't taste good. So I went with the Kettle.
Well, I dare say that maybe Kettle chips don't taste good.
Okay, okay.
That your teeth may thank you for getting a softer, lightly salted chip.
I feel like you need the Kettle chip though, because it burns extra calories. Because you
I
chewing.
don't, no, I think it tears your mouth up. But
Kettle chips is
yeah.
like, I feel like Kettle chips is like, somebody at like a potato chip company, like they made really dope chips, and their wife was like, I can make those just as good as home. And he was like, no, you can't, honey. And she was like, see? And he had to like eat that in front of everybody. And she just kept pushing the agenda. She was like, yo, listen, why don't you just sell these? And he was like, I don't know if that's gonna work. And nobody buys them, but he keeps putting them out there because,
Oh no, people love Kettle chips.
yeah.
Yo, my goodness, yes.
What?
Yes. Now, yeah, they definitely do. There are so many different kinds. It's wild.
Wow.
I thought that they were just like the super burnt chips
Yeah.
in regular potato chip bags, which I had heard may lead to cancer more so than a normal cooked chip. But who am I to say that a bag of Kettle chips is nothing but cancer chips? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what I heard. But yeah, no, Kettle chips are very popular. My roommate likes them a lot,
Huh.
but it feels like a lot of work.
Stick to the lightly salted, regular cut chips.
Yeah, and also you have to, at some point, especially if it's like health related, you do have to kind of, the thing that I've been thinking when it comes to like low sodium stuff is it's like it's the sodium that's the killer, right?
Right.
So now you have to make your own food and you're in control of the salt because there's not as much sodium
Okay.
in it if you get the low sodium version. So when I finally salted the soup, I was like, oh, okay, this is fine. And then I was just thinking, okay, so what do I do then? And I'm like, well, I'm going to continue to use low sodium chicken stock, low sodium soy sauce, which, was a switch that I made, which I'm kind of okay with low sodium soy sauce because soy sauce is literally just liquid salt. It's just liquid salt. And so I'm okay with like, let's cut that down a bit.
Yeah.
And even a bit is probably way too much. I mean, my feet were huge when I went to bed. So swollen. So I was just like, all right, maybe not. But
Shalewa was borrowing my sneakers now and shit.
big old ankles. I was like, let me put these up on the wall. Let's see if I can get some of this blood to come back down to me. But yeah, like if you get the stuff that's low sodium, then you can add salt because there's not as much sodium. You're not adding salt on top of a ridiculous amount of sodium.
Okay.
That's my theory. I feel like a doctor told that to me once 15 years ago, and that may not even be the case now, but that's what I'm sticking with.
Nah, I could vibe with that. Because I feel like I do that with pizza. Like when I buy pizza, I always put like garlic and oregano on it, and it has nothing to do with the taste of the pizza. It has to do with the visual. I like how it looks, like having a little bit of green on the pizza. So,
Right.
But I also know it adds sodium and other things to the food. So, like in theory, I would be able to tell the pizza guy, "Hey, don't put that much on my pie because I'm gonna put this anyway." Whether you do it or not, I just need the visual of seeing it on top.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's kind of how I feel about it, where I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just salt it at the end point.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I may get a little scared about putting too much salt in while I'm cooking.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, so I'll just wait till I'm almost done, and then I'll go ahead and salt then, because I am not going to taste while I'm cooking because it's hot. And I'm like, I don't have time to be blowing and waiting for it to cool down. I'll just wait till I get on my plate and we will fix it up. We'll fix it in post.
Bang. Okay, there we go.
But again, I don't have to cook for many people, and usually that's and some things to me just inherently taste salty anyway, so I just don't. Now I'm heavy-handed with the other stuff.
Yeah.
Black pepper, white pepper, which my sister got mad at me and said I was using a colonizer's pepper. And I was like, no, it's this. Yeah, it's the same as black pepper. It's just ground down so that the black part is down. It's down to like the white nugget in the middle. And she was like, see, they took all the blackness away. And so I I felt bad and didn't use it for a while. But the recipe I saw for the soup was like, use white pepper. And I was like, well, luckily I have this, even though I'm scared that using it, makes me. She just got a few things that she feels strongly about, and we didn't know that white pepper was one of them.
Fight it. I ain't mad at it. You tell them I ain't using no colonizer salt neither. All right, I'm with you. If I had it, I would throw it out today. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's red pepper? Is that like also a racial salt? No. Is that okay?
No, it's fine. That's just an actual pepper.
Okay. I was like, if I'm being problematic, I gotta know. I gotta get rid of this stuff.
Oh, I don't know if everyone knows that paprika is basically red pepper.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I only just found that out. So it's not like a spice. It's just like, like, I don't know if it's the red bell pepper. It doesn't, but it's a red pepper, but it's not like spicy. It just brings a little like warmth,
Okay.
But it's not like a spicy thing. So that's what paprika is. Then once I learned it, I was like, well, paprika, little pepper, sure, that makes sense a little bit.
Rock on.
Yeah. But there's that. Also, in the egg drop soup, you could use yellow food coloring to make it look the yellow that they have it in the restaurants. And I was like, that's a step too far.
Yeah, nah. You know the truth. Food
Yeah, I know.
coloring doesn't work if you're the one adding the food coloring. Like, you can't lie to yourself.
I don't need to fool me into thinking that it's fine.
You know, nobody colors their hair to stay home. All right, you know, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? You embrace.
You say that, but I truly am probably going to lighten my hair because. Yeah.
That's right, y'all. Welcome to the cooking version of the War Report. We are here today sharing recipes together. Let's get into the news. The Dow surges. The stocks recover from the GameStop Mania. That's right. Wall Street is surging for another day in a row as the GameStop Mania appears to finally be calming down. Reddit's favorite stock fell 50% on Tuesday, adding to Monday's sizable losses. Hedge funds on Wall Street are catching a break from the short squeeze that ensued after retail investors rapidly pushed up the share price of GameStop, AMC, and other heavily shorted stocks last week. Yeah, this was gangster. I'm glad that it's is getting back to normal, but
what is normal?
Yeah, it's weird, but like, no, what's going on? It's my dad just popped into the building. It's the homie Shalewa Sharpe. I wanna thank everybody on the podcast for saving me from getting chewed out from my pops. He didn't want to do it on camera, you know what I mean? But
that's what we're here for.
Yeah, like what's going on with the economics here? I fully don't get the movement behind this. Like, it's
you didn't understand why?
Yeah, because it feels weird. It's like they're doing it to like stick it to the man, but like next week they still own a whole bunch of overpriced GameStop stock, right? Like,
yeah, but I mean, it's not necessarily. This wasn't necessarily a money-making move,
right?
To buy all of this. This was to take advantage of the ways that I believe hedge funds do the whole shorting thing,
right?
And that it is very precarious, but they've been doing it that way for a long time, and folks saw a chance to like push it to its limit where it would not benefit the fat cats on Wall Street, basically.
Right, like I got the vibe that like it definitely screwed over the Wall Street hedge fund people, and I appreciate the efforts in that. But I also got the impression that in order to do that, they had to use their own actual money, right? Like, so, like at the end of this, you're still holding the bag.
Yeah, but that's not the issue. People are willing to. I've seen where people are like, look, I don't make a lot of money, but I'm willing to devote this amount of money to this because what they do is bullshit. It's the principality, basically. So they're willing to spend that money. It doesn't feel like a hit because they are letting folks know we're on to you.
Wow, respect.
And shit ain't, yeah. So it's not just like I'm only in it to make the money, because if that was the case, they'd play the game just like everyone else and continue to lose. But they were like, oh, we see you, we see what you do, and I'm willing to put this money into letting you know that we see what you do and it's bullshit. So that, yes, they are kind of left holding the bag. But in that time, we've learned that the Robinhood app was on some bullshit.
Right.
That people made promises, had shorted stocks and amounts that they didn't have any intention. There's nowhere near how much, or they did too much. They promised out too much.
Yeah, I saw that. Like,
and there was no way for them to even truly collect. It's like if there was a run on the banks, which I'm trying to think, was that something that happened during the Depression, a run on the banks? And but I don't think a lot of everyday people know that banks don't have your money in it. That banks don't actually have a lot of money in-house.
Right.
So if there was a run on the bank and everyone went and wanted to take all their money out, banks wouldn't be able to do it. for all of the branches. They wouldn't, because it's just promissory. A lot of money that's traded is imaginary.
Right, right.
And so it's just like, hey, we see you. We see what the game is on this particular thing. Know that we're watching. I'm willing to put these chips devoted to letting you know that we're on to you and that this is some bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah, and also they've got a class action suit against Robinhood because they forced them to do stuff that was like, hey, we're supposed to be able to trade freely. Now you're restricting
it, yeah.
based on, like you weren't, while all of your advertising and the way that you lured us in was like, we're for you, the little guy, to give you a chance to get in the game. Well, we got to look at this. We found a game we could get into, and we got into it. And you're like, no, you can't. Robinhood can't take its ball and go home after yelling at all the kids to come out and play.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that's why. So it's not just like I was trying to make money thing.
Okay.
It was I'm okay. I see you.
Okay.
Oh, that's what you gonna do? Bet. That's what it was. It's that's what you do?
Word?
Bet. That's what it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was basically a giant word to Wall Street.
That's right, y'all. And for those of y'all that haven't been listening, I have with me co-host Shalewa Sharpe, aka the person that set this all up on Reddit. You know what I mean? We here right now. We have gotten a secret identity. This is what Shalewa does in the evening. She plans.
I literally roll change. I roll change, everybody. Do not listen to me. I'm going to finish this and then go look for some place to put my change, a Coinstar or whatever. Do they even have those in New York?
I haven't seen one in a while. I've seen the coin deposit thing at the banks, but I haven't seen. But even that, like, it's gone away little by little. I tried to do it at the Chase with my daughter, and it was gone.
Yeah, I don't see Coinstar around. I mean, like, that's in every. I feel like in every grocery store in Atlanta, there's a Coinstar in the front of it by the customer service desk. So you have to go to a grocery store where you don't know anyone who lives in that neighborhood, so no one sees you pouring empty jars of Prego full of change into them so that you can do laundry or whatever.
Yo, real talk. I had a dude ask me for change at the McDonald's drive-thru the other day, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna give you this, but you got to tell me, where do you spend this? Like, I haven't been able to use 15 cents in years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where does this go? You know, I don't even know how I get change anymore. Like, it just shows up in my car. I give it away to homeless people, and it's a circle of life. But I don't know where they spend it. I don't know any. I haven't reached in my pocket for like nickels and like found one when I needed it in years, Shalewa. I don't know how that works. I know there's still change because I see it like when I'm adding stuff up, or like when I look at my account. But like, so I know like the idea of less than $1 exists, but like I don't see stores using it. You know what I mean? They don't even function with it. Even if it costs 99 cents, you give them $1, ask for your penny. They look at you like, word? I don't have those.
Well, I feel like that's funny. Yeah, you just go ahead and round up. It may depend on like your sales tax situation. Restaurants definitely do, because my sister has waited tables for a long time, and when she used to come over, I would have whatever extra change I had at a small table that I kept by the front door, and she would just come in and immediately dig through it for like nickels. She was like, nickels are hard to find, and she would take she just take the extra change, because she was like, I need it for work.
Okay.
So yeah, so I have the change with me. So I mean, there are some places where they do give you the change back or whatever. Although right now apparently there's a change shortage. Throughout this whole since the COVIDian time started, there's been reports of a change shortage. So retail places are just like, if you can, use a card, because there's a shortage in change. And I'm like, how is that possible? I don't understand how there's a shortage in change. Where did the change? You had the change the day before we locked the stores down. You know what I mean? Like, the banks didn't stay locked down. They still have the change.
Yeah, I don't
like,
get it.
Do you just not feel like getting it when you go to cash out at a pay? Like, I don't understand how the quarters disappeared. I managed to do laundry. Like, I come across enough quarters to do laundry, So where's the change going? That's really what I'm waiting on, the documentary. When they start putting out the millions of documentaries about this COVID-19, I really hope that there's one about the scant change
The change
situation.
situation. That's gonna be pretty
Yeah.
far down the rabbit hole there. Like,
Yeah, but I'm willing to do it. I mean, if everybody else is going to watch every single true crime thing, let me know about let me know about the change. I want to know about the change.
Oh man, they are all of them are stuck 1 quarter at a time at a shop right near you, so you can get your shopping cart. That's where all of the change is.
Oh, right, at Aldi's and stuff where you can put it in and then hopefully get it out. Yeah, yeah.
Tesla recalls 135,000 cars after pushing back against regulators. Tesla's recalling 135,000 Tesla Model S sedans and Model X SUVs because their large center touchscreens can fail. Tesla had previously objected to a push to issue a recall from regulators as it claimed that the problem wasn't a safety issue. And the recall applies to some of the 2012 through 2018 Model S and 2016 through 18 Model X vehicles. I feel like this is definitely a safety issue. I don't feel like Tesla read this correctly. Because essentially, like, isn't this car just like a computer? So, like, if the screen doesn't work, like, you don't have a car, right? Like, that's how the whole thing works. Like, I've seen the hood of the car. There's like a little box in there, and the rest is just open space. And the only access I have to everything is the screen. I plug it into a wall. That's how the charging works, so that the computer can work. If the screen ain't working, that's the whole car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a huge safety issue.
If the screen's not working on your phone.
Yeah, you don't have a phone. Like, it's just...
Yeah.
Tesla wilding right now, my G. That's pretty gangster to tell them, like, nah, the screen don't work, but you still got the vehicle. It just can't do anything that it's supposed to do.
Yeah, that's why I am still, look, I know electronic cars are the future. I get it. But, like, I miss a window you could roll down by hand. You know what I mean? For this reason. The screen goes blank. Now I'm trapped in this car. I ain't got no air. I crack every window. I also leave at least one door unlocked so that when someone's trying to break in, if they try all the doors, at least one door opens. They don't break a window. I'm not out $200. Anywho.
Steal my radio, but don't mess up my car.
Please don't make me have to tape up my window. Just take whatever. But I'm not 100% sure I trust Teslas yet. I don't trust a lot of things. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that they make tiered versions of electronic cars. I want there to be a jitterbug version of a car. You know what I mean? Like, let's get it ready for people who know that this is our option, but we're not trying to get state of the art.
Right.
You know, and also let's make them look a little crazier. I can't believe people would pay so much money for an electric car only to have that thing look a little bit like a Honda.
Yeah.
Like
I'm with you. It look plain as shit. I'm like, why are you driving this? How's the nicest part of this the iPad that's on inside the car? Like, they look horrible. I'm like, I don't get the vibe behind it. And the key looks cool, but not the rest of the car. The little logo looks fine.
It literally looks like one of those Honda where it's not quite a station wagon and it's not like a small SUV, but it was called like the Honda Cross something. I call it the Honda Crossbody. I don't think that's what it's called, but but it just looks like that with a little jaunty T. And also, and maybe this is because I haven't been any place where people really fix up their cars yet. Every time I see one, it's in a very reasonable color. It's in black. It's in navy. It's in different shades of gray. It's white. I need candy paint. You know what I mean? Like my dream car is well, I don't know. It could be anything that's running, but I still want it to be like a burnt orange color. Do you know what I mean? That's what I both want. So, like, what are we doing? Are we doing like jelly on the peanut butter guts, jelly on the outside, peanut butter guts? You know what I mean? Like,
none of these Teslas would have impressed Exhibit. Okay, he wouldn't have cared about a single one of these things.
Yo, what would what would they have to pimp? They literally would have to take it back to where it was like a 74 Dodge Dart. Like that's all they could do.
I always enjoyed those episodes of Pimp My Ride where like the dudes would be like, listen, we couldn't do anything with this. We just got you a new car and this is what we did.
You had a family of rats living in it, so we thought maybe you just want a new car.
It happened like once a season where they was like, yo, we good, but yo, it's ridiculous, B. We just started a new
This
car.
is why did you exhibit? Why'd you bring this to us? Also, there are the only like 3 or 4 of them that they allowed to talk. There's the one black guy who was just like who explained everything that was going to happen, and he was just like, okay, so here we're going to add monitors everywhere, right? You put that was back in the monitor in the back of everything, Dave.
Yeah.
But then they would show him actually talking to a coworker and using like his normal voice, and I was just like, yo, that didn't sound anything like what you just said to the camera.
You changed them all.
Yeah. Oh man. I love that show so much, but boy, who wants to be stuck driving that? Everyone knows what's in it. So yeah, I imagine if someone was just like, can you pimp my Tesla? And Exhibit's like, yeah, I guess we'll make it a Ford Pinto. I don't know what else you want.
Oh man, leave that car home. I don't bring that over there. Piece of shit. Prehistoric teeth hint at Stone Age sex with Neanderthals. Who was doing these studies? This is wild.
You're finding the stories.
I cannot read this. I see on CNN somebody found teeth and it tells you the kind of sex people had. I gotta know. Early modern humans and Neanderthals lived in Europe and parts of Asia at the same time, overlapping for several thousand years before our archaic relatives disappeared around 40,000 years ago. During this time, Homo sapiens and Neanderthals encountered each other and sometimes had sex and gave birth to children. The evidence is buried within their genes, DNA analysis has shown, with most Europeans having around 2% Neanderthal DNA in their genomes from this ancient interbreeding.
Oh, okay.
Okay. However,
guess who's coming for dinner?
There we go.
Huh.
Oh man, that's right. We out there. We finding out everybody got a little freak in them. That's all this is telling me. You know what I mean? During the dry spell, things get real. You know what I mean? This was the quarantine of 48,000 years ago. They were like, yo, listen, B, times is rough. I'm inside my cave all the time. And that Neanderthal could get it. You know what I mean? So they made an exception this time. That's all this was.
Oh, wow. Okay, so let's see. Now a new analysis of 11 teeth found in a cave in Jersey, an island in the English Channel, not New Jersey, has suggested that
that would have hurt the credibility.
some of them could have belonged to individuals that had mixed Homo Neanderthalensis and Homo sapien ancestry. The teeth identified as being as Neanderthal were found when the site known as La Côte de Saint Brelard was first excavated in 1910 and 1911. New analysis of the teeth published in the Journal of Human Evolution on Monday has shown that the choppers actually came from 2 different individuals who lived there 48,000 years ago. 7 of the teeth had both modern human and Neanderthal traits. Ooh, okay, hybrid teeth. Oh, that's wild. Okay, so this is the first proof that they have that Neanderthals were sleeping with Homo sapiens.
Exactly. They out there.
Okay.
It is real. You know what I mean? This is so yeah, all that to say is even back in the day, you know, when you were drunk enough, you would swipe right on everything, you know? It happens. It's not just you. Apparently it was prevalent in all of Europe, okay? So don't worry about it, you know what I mean? Everybody has a dry spell. Get over there. There's now scientific proof. You are not alone.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine you do the ancestry.com and it tells you you are the full 2% Neanderthal. Like whatever the maximum is, that is you.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. That would be a little surprising. Like, why did they have that on file? How would that how would that look to just be like, oh yeah, so it turns out I'm part Irish and part Cherokee and a little bit Neanderthal. Like, how does that?
Some dude in the South is like, but I'm not black though, right? Like, all right,
Right, yeah,
clear.
but I'm still cleared on the Africa
Now
thing,
I'm
though,
worried
right?
about that. Okay, I can still be racist. Okay, cool.
Fantastic.
Oh man, in sports, the Super Bowl 55 will have an attendance of 25,000 fans and 30,000 cutouts amid COVID-19 regulations. That's right. So the NFL will host 25,000 fans and an additional 30,000 cutouts will be in the stands. Just to be clear, these are not real people, the 30,000 cutouts.
Wait, okay. I guess my question is how many? Okay, actually, it's right here. It's the third sentence.
Yeah.
I was just like, how big is the spot that they're doing this? But
Yeah.
Tampa's Raymond James Stadium has a maximum capacity of 75,000 fans.
Yeah, they can't have it looking empty, you know what I mean? So you're going to be next to some cardboard all over that place, you know what I mean? You're going to be partying up, high-fiving. I don't know if I've said this here. I've said this before in other places, but my dream was to have a wedding with me, my wife, Gabby, and a whole bunch of cardboard celebrities. So, like, this is really in line with my vision. I wanted, like, I wanted to order, like, 100 cardboard cutouts of, like, at life-size celebrities and just take pictures. I wanted to hire a real photographer and just take pictures with me and, like, 3 Michael Jordans, you know? Like, oh, this is Jordan Duncan. This is Jordan playing baseball, you know? I
Oh
thought
my
it'd be
gosh.
a cool concept. And I would just tell
That's not bad.
and like to
That's not
see like
bad.
how long people would let me run with it. Like I would just tell people like, yo, I had Jordan at my wedding and like show them pictures and see how socially awkward it would get if nobody would call it out, you know? So I'm with this, you know what I mean?
Well, you don't want to call it out because you're a big dude and no one wants any sudden movements. So they probably would just smile and slowly back away.
I'm about this, man. You can't play certain like I feel like you need this like energy in the room when you playing the Super Bowl and just as good as and as the effort they put in to keep the sports working without people there. I do think that for the championship, having people there will change the vibe of it. As long as they can do it safely. I just don't know how that's possible. That seems like a lot of people.
I feel like that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like no matter how big
the space
that
is,
spot
yeah.
is. Yeah, I mean, like I understand that that's like a third of the space, but that still feels like just a lot of people.
Yeah.
Was it supposed to be in Tampa before all of this happened? Was it initially?
Yeah,
like,
the Super Bowl, like they announce it usually actually a couple years ahead of time. They fight for it.
Right.
And that was actually part of the big deal of Tom Brady going there because this is the first time in history that the whole city also has a team representing it in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So
I thought that was weird too. I thought, that's weird. I think isn't Tampa in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, never happened before.
Oh, that's wild. But also, I didn't know if Tampa was initially where they were supposed to have it, or if they decided to have it there because Florida is bussing it open. And so, you know what I mean? Like if it was supposed to be in another place, but that place was just like, yeah, no, we have restrictions because of COVID. And they were like, fuck this. What you doing, Florida? Florida's like, we got you. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like so much about this is wild. Like, like I get like it's only a third capacity, but like, like it's still gonna be filled in the bathroom. Like I'm still next to you at the urinal, like I'm still next to you getting hot dogs. Like every other aspect of it, there's still too many people for that to be spaced.
And no one's going to keep a mask on. Is it a covered stadium?
I mean, I don't know that. That's a good question. I just know that no one will keep a mask. No one's going to tell people to put their mask on because everybody saw a cop get snuffed by Trey Songz last week. So if R&B singers could body security,
hey man, if you worried about Trey Songz running up on you, be surprised that he managed to get tickets to the Super Bowl. Well, how about that? I think he hit his peak at one of the playoff games, but I don't think he's a Super Bowl concern. You know what I mean?
Especially if it's down to 25,000. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
There you go.
absolutely.
There's gonna be a Trey Songz cutout at the Super Bowl. You heard it here
I'm
first.
not 100% sure he could make it to the cutout list. I don't know about that.
Oh man. The NBA and the NBA Players Association are progressing towards an All-Star game and skills event for March 7th. So similar issue that we've lost Shalewa.
Y'all, it's different now. I know we want it to be as much as the same as possible, but it's different now. All-Star, only thing when you say NBA All-Star game, all I see are women getting completely waxed and packing all of their skimpy things and going, okay, All-Star, let's do it. All-Star Weekend, let's
Yeah,
go.
go find a
Let's
husband,
go.
make it
We're gonna
happen.
find somebody.
Not this year. You got
Equipment manager. Yeah, like this is not. I just feel like it's not the year.
Did you catch yourself a player? No, I caught a disease. I caught it.
Yeah,
I caught an illness.
which you still could do
Just not COVID.
during a
Every other year.
just not COVID. Yeah, this is the only year where someone catching herpes will just be like, "Oh, thank heavens."
Woo! Dodge that one. Oh man, that's gonna be great.
I can't believe where are they going to try and have this? Or are they going to do it in Florida?
Oh man, that's awesome.
It just seems like I don't know.
Yeah, I think
would,
there's.
let's see. They would make it a one-night event.
Yeah, they're trying to minimize it. It's normally like a week-long thing.
Oh, they would do it in Atlanta. I should have known. Atlanta also busting it wide open.
Yeah, like the strip clubs are gonna be popping down there.
I went to the rookie game the last time they had the All-Star Weekend in Atlanta. Yeah, and I was like, I am woefully overdressed, and it's February and freezing, and and I'm just trying to stay warm, and I'm at the rookie game, y'all, ladies, ladies. What did I didn't get this memo. That's how I learned. Okay.
Yeah, you actually went for the game. They had other goals.
I was just like, I want to see something happening during All-Star Weekend.
Oh,
but
man.
I didn't realize what it truly meant, and I was like, I didn't put the right hat on. I didn't know this is what we did. Now I'm out here in bootcut jeans like an idiot. Oh man.
Oh man, that's great. EA Sports announces college football video game will return. That's right. College football fans can rejoice. EA Sports announced on Tuesday it's planning to relaunch a college football video game. The series has been shelved since NCAA football 2014. So this is a big deal just because this is something that has been removed. Both college football and basketball games had been taken off of most major distributors because of the lawsuit brought on by Ed O'Bannon against the NCAA. The former UCLA basketball star successfully sued the NCAA in stopping it from continuing to profit off of his name, image, and likeness, him and current and former college athletes. So I'm assuming they figured out a way of working that out. Because they want their checks. I don't know if you heard the story about this. Ed O'Bannon had a minor I think it's Charles O'Bannon. I keep thinking of his brother. He had a small career Ed in the NBA, but he was a pretty big deal at UCLA, as was his younger brother Charles. But Ed was hanging out at like a friend's house, and like his friend's son was like, "Hey, I'm playing with you in the game." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" He didn't know that the game existed. And when he looks at the game and they have a character with his name, his number on the court, like playing, and they had the whole team was listed. But unlike the NBA, where they have an NBA Players Association that has negotiated for them to get part of those checks, none of those college athletes got that money. So the NCAA was pocketing money from these games, and the players who aren't allowed to profit from their own name were completely cut out of this. So they can't make money on their own name on their own, and the NCAA was making money off of their names. So it's like a super FU. So he won this lawsuit, and in response, basically everyone said, well, we're just not going to give y'all games, and as opposed to, hey, we should probably settle this. So it looks like, finally they figured out they're like, oh, we should just pay them how we pay everyone else, and we could figure this out.
It looks like they're, for now, EA Sports is planning to move forward without rosters. That includes the names, images, or likenesses of real college players.
So then,
so they're just going to have Joe Schmoes playing, which is great, fine. I mean, if you're not going to give them money, don't use their likenesses.
But then
that's evil.
Why would you play the game? Like, that seems like the whole reason to play. I don't.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know, because didn't old dude in California, didn't he say something about the governor of California? Oh, here it is. Once California Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bill in September 2019 making it easier for college athletes to earn money from their name, image, and likeness. Many wondered if NCAA football would rise from the grave. But there are lots of hurdles with that.
Right.
So I guess I think that they're just not going to have any likenesses. I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
Kind of,
because that's the whole reason you play. Like, you want to play as your favorite players, right? If they're not the players, it defeats the purpose.
Maybe you just maybe we got to see what these characters look like and how they move.
Huh?
What if they don't name them and they don't give them the same images,
right?
But they take some elements of this guy and elements of that guy, and they put it in this fella, and they send him. You know what I mean? Like, what if they take just some of the moves from you know what I mean? Just
I'm wondering
Frankenstein
if that'll draw
a bunch of.
Huh? I know, that was a big deal. Like, I know, growing up, I remember there was certain video games where, like, Shaq and Jordan in particular, they weren't in the games because they didn't agree with the negotiation. They negotiated separately. So, like, Jordan would be like a secret character, and Shaq would be the only guy that, like, it wasn't his name, but it was clearly Shaq. Like, it was number 32,
right.
And they would just say generic name, but he was like 300 pounds. He's the only dude that size,
Right.
So, like, it still did all the Shaq shit. He just couldn't use his name. And I know, like, Ken Griffey Jr., he had a baseball game where he got the rights from Major League Baseball, but not from the Players Association. So all the players did exactly what the players did, and they looked like the players, but they had none of their names. So, like, he was the only player that was named Ken Griffey Jr. accurately. Everyone else had, like, a generic name, but you knew, like, oh yeah, that's definitely, like, Derek Jeter. Like, he's number 2, he's light skinned, he's a shortstop for the Yankees.
Right?
That it's the guy. Right?
I wonder if they're hoping that enough time has passed. Because it says it looks like it won't come this year. So and they haven't set a target date. I wonder if they're hoping that enough time has passed that maybe people won't know won't know the background on it, even though it seems like that's something you would know if you fully play these games. But maybe they're just hoping that there's a new market, just a new audience for it that's younger, and they don't necessarily know the background, and they'd be willing to play it without the names on it. It's just like, no, it's just the colleges.
Yeah, it seems wild, right?
And so if they're just like, well, I like this college, and then you play, the colleges instead of playing for the players, if they market it that way, perhaps that's how it could work.
I feel like this is gonna be like a lot of woke tweets. Like,
for
there's
sure,
gonna be a lot of people mad about this that don't even play video games, just mad on principle. I don't see how they get away with this without figuring out the pain of the players. Ed O'Bannon fought too hard at this, probably harder than he fought for his NBA career, being frank. He was not that great for the New Jersey Nets, but he was far better in court, in legal court, not on the NBA court. So yeah, I'm glad he won his lawsuit. Hopefully he gets these players paid, because he is not being paid anywhere else. So yeah,
Don't be too sure. He probably knows where a coin star
There we
is.
go. You making it happen out there. Finally, Rob Gronkowski reveals he faked videos that he was supposed to be submitting to the Bucks in the offseason for his workouts. The Tampa Bay Bucks tight end Rob Gronkowski mastered the art of the virtual workout when he came out of retirement to join his team this offseason. He told reporters on Monday that he filmed several days worth of workouts to send to his coaching staff in one sitting, opting to change his shirt after multiple reps to have footage to send the next time he was asked to do so. That's right, y'all. Gronk retired in March of 2019 after 9 seasons with the Patriots, but decided to join his former quarterback in Tampa in April. Just did not want to do the work required to do so. Whatever.
Okay, hold on.
Awesome.
So, first off, I don't know anything about this person, but I do know that I think he's stupid. And that's only because he goes by Gronk. And I don't know if he does that by choice or if that's just what the media has decided to do,
Right.
but I just can't. I mean, look, if you're out there with a Gronk based name and you're a scholar and you've got a master's degree, all of that stuff, holler at me. I will apologize profusely. And I don't mean you, but I do mean Gronk. And I feel like he's just a little dumb because this was his idea. Not only was this his idea, he then went on to tell people that this was his idea.
Yeah, he knows he can't get cut now. You can't cut him the week before the Super Bowl. So he finally came out like, yo, listen.
Why not? You can do whatever you want to do.
But so like at the beginning of the year, it was like people thought he'd fallen off because he took a year off from football. And he was looking like, less than his former self. And people were like, damn, he lost it. And towards the end of the year, he started picking back up and playing like his old self. And it just looks now like it was just he got in shape finally. After showing up every week to games and practices, he got in shape. But before, during the offseason, because of the quarantine, they didn't do their normal offseason workouts. So they were trusting players to send in these tapes. And he's like, yo, listen, I'm going to do that, but like, not until we actually start playing. I'm living my life right now. And
so now I don't know if he's I mean I still think he's dumb, but I don't know. He's not stupid. You know what I mean? He's dumb, but he's not stupid. So that's a dangerous thing. Also, I just how to be named just to be a Gronkowski and be able to do that kind. I don't have that kind of leeway in my life. To have that kind of leeway in your life is just like, wow. And to think that you really game the system enough that you still said something to reporters. Like, look what I did.
Yeah, like
you idiot. You idiot.
You're already like winning at life. Like, yo, what's your job?
Yeah, you got over.
Yeah, like you got over on God. Like you understand that? Like you get paid to catch a ball at a sport that like half of America loves and wants to take part in. You made so much money from that sport that you took a year off. Like you could like retire, and then your boy starts playing on a new team. You're like, all right, I'll come back if I got to. You know what I mean? I'll help you out real quick. That's your life. Like that's all you have to do is just basically lift weights, catch a football, and then keep it moving. That's all he has to do. You don't need to add any additional like tricks. Nothing you do now is gonna be a bigger like, aha, I got you, than the fact that you figured out how to catch a ball for a living. That is amazing. Like real talk. If me and Sha make it from podcasting, I ain't gonna be doing no other shit. I ain't gonna be tricking people. You ain't gonna see me like pulling quarters out of my son's ear. Why? Because I already figured out life at that point. Like I tell jokes into a microphone talking to my friend and I get paid for it. That is the biggest aha in the world. You know what I mean? I know my lane. Gronk needs to learn his.
Oh boy. Also, I mean, how great is Tom Brady that he has just over the past few months, I've learned of at least 2 people willing to go wherever he is.
He's got to be a friendly dude. I gotta say.
I mean, there's friendly, but I got friendly friends. I'm not following them anywhere. I've worked with friendly people. I didn't move where they moved.
What is it about Tom?
What is it? Yeah, what's really going on? That's the other documentary I want to see. What's really going on?
It's the avocado ice cream he talks about. He said he follows like a weird diet, and like one of the things that like got a lot of press is that he eats avocado, homemade avocado ice cream as his like treat. So I think
Okay.
I think that's
I'm not following that dude anywhere. Are you serious? I'm not following him in traffic. Avocado ice cream. Get out of town.
We've lost Shalewa on the avocado ice cream. Sorry, it's not happening. Nope. With that said, if you are a fan of the show and not a fan of avocado ice cream, please.
Or even if you like avocados, I'm not going to yuck your yum. I would still like you to leave a review, a positive one.
Man, maybe share a recipe. Do what you do. Whatever you're in the mood for. 5 stars and tell us how you make your avocado ice cream. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Please like and subscribe to the show. If you have any other articles or recipes you'd like to share with me and Shalewa, please DM us, Silky Jumbo, Gastor Almonte on Twitter or Instagram. With that said, thank you so much for listening. My name is Gastor Almonte. I'm with the homie Shalewa Sharpe. This is a bonus episode of The War Report. Peace.